It says live on YouTube.
Yay, I see
Meeting
that
now
too.
streaming live on YouTube is what it tells me. So
I have that too.
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
So the question here would be,
Yeah.
are we really streaming live on YouTube? Because it showed that we were, and it says that we are. So, oh my gosh, we got this
Yay.
to work. Perseverance at its best, right there.
Yes.
Hey everybody, welcome
Yeah.
to the Yarn Thing podcast. Sometimes we go at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, sometimes we don't. We try our best. So I am Marley Bird, and this is the Yarn Thing podcast. We have been doing the podcast for 13 years, and there are trials and tribulations as we do the podcast, and when technology throws a curveball at us, we just have to figure out how we're going to hit that curveball and make it work. And today we did. So it looks like this Zoom broadcasting thing that I signed up for is actually going to let us go live on YouTube, which is fantastic because we have been trying to do live for a while. And let's see here what everybody is saying. And people are waving and saying hello. I'm hoping everybody can hear us. If you guys could just give me a wave and tell me if you can and hear us just fine, that would be awesome. I have a lovely guest today who has been very, very, very patient with me as we've been trying to get this figured out through Skype, through Facebook, and then finally through Zoom. We have Larissa Demos from Green Mountain Spinnery joining us today. Those of you who've been with the podcast for as long as I've been doing it, you know how much I love Green Mountain Spinnery. So I love having Larissa here today to talk about the Spinnery, tell us about all the wonderful things that they do, the wonderful yarns that they supply, the books that they do, the designs that they work on. There's just so much that goes on behind the scenes when you pick up that one skein of yarn that you love. And so without further ado, let's welcome Larissa to the podcast. So hello, Larissa. How are you?
Hi, Marley. Great. How are you?
I am doing fantastic now that we're live, and I'm as
Yay.
you're talking, I'm gonna say everybody says they can hear
Yeah.
us wonderfully, so that's great.
Perfect.
I'm so ecstatic that we're actually live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you tell everybody what it is they're looking at there behind you, and while you're doing that, I'm hopefully making the screen bigger so that you're able to point things out a little bit more.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So what's behind me? We actually have some of you may have actually been here, and it's very, very noisy on the production floor. So I am back in our shed of wool, and all of this behind us is all wool that we're eventually going to process either for us or for other people and turn it into yarn for them.
That's so cool. So has that
Yeah.
already been like what's it called, washed and scoured and all of
Some
that,
of
or
it,
is
some
that
of it
just
has,
raw?
some is and some isn't. Like this bale behind me, I discovered this morning is washed, but all of this other stuff is unwashed. So it's like
Wow.
in, I can grab something really quickly. Hold on.
All right. Hey, go ahead.
Should I got this before? So this is the raw wool. I don't know if everybody can see it. I don't really know where the camera is on the phone.
Yeah, you're good.
So this is all unwashed. So some of it comes in just like this. And then other stuff comes in clean and all nice and shiny and bright with less stuff on it. This is from the floor, so it's still a little bit dirty, but this is, but this is washed wool. So it has the lanolins out of it. And some of the vegetable matter is out of it, but there's always going to be a little bit left, which makes our yarns unique.
Yeah,
Because
there's a
they're not
lot
over
of us
processed.
that can relate to just picking up some tufts of wool off the floor
Yeah.
and just being like, let's throw this in.
Yeah.
So, Larissa, why don't you
Yeah.
tell people who might not have heard very much about Green Mountain Spinnery, what it is that you guys do, because you're unique in that you're not just a like somebody owns you, just one big company owns you. You guys are a cooperative, and
Yes.
and you have such wonderful people. You gotta
Yeah.
I call her Bob, but my friend Maureen is there, and I just
Yeah.
love her to pieces, and I love everything about your company. I want other people to know more about it, so let's go ahead and let you
Yeah.
take it away.
Yeah, so brief history of the Spinnery. It started in 1981, and we've been going ever since. And it was started as a worker-owned cooperative because David Ritchie, who's still here, he's in the building right now. He's been here since the beginning, even before 1981, starting it along with Claire Wilson and Libby Mills, and there was a woman, Diana, that was here as well. And they realized that there was no wool being produced in the US at that time. It was all shipped overseas. So and there was all these farms in Vermont. So they went through all this hard work and created the Spinnery to produce local yarns.
And so did they make the mill themselves, or did they purchase a mill?
They made it. They bought the equipment. This was a gas station that had been sitting empty on the side of the highway for, I think, at least 7 or 8 years. And they bought it and did expansions and bought the machinery from different mills in Maine and brought it here and started it up.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's so cool. I mean,
yeah,
I've been blessed that I've been able to come to the mill and see
yeah,
all the workings behind it, and the smell. I love the smell of the mill.
yeah.
Like it's just it's invigorating. What makes your yarn, I want to say make your yarn special. I mean, to me, like I think of yours, it's I don't even know how to describe how I think of
Yeah,
your yarn. Like to me, it's like it's homegrown. Like that's when I think of Green Mountain Spinnery, it's homegrown, it's
right.
luscious, it's rustic, it's smooth, it's bubbly, but it's not like,
Yeah,
I mean, all the things. I love it so much.
yeah. Well, we're woolen spun, so when yarn is woolen spun, you trap more air into it, so it's actually fluffier, and it kind of mimics. It's more like people call farm yarns these days. So it's just a lot fluffier. It's not over processed. So a lot of commercial yarns, which are great for different purposes, they're very smooth and heavier. So being woolen spun, it's nice and light, so they can actually be warmer without having all that extra weight to it.
Okay.
And when we don't over process, so we're not stripping anything out of the wool, we're leaving it, we're just washing out the lanolin and processing it.
It's just lovely. It's so wonderful. Now, how many different types of yarns do you spin there? And do you just do Green Mountain Spinnery yarns, or do you do yarns for other companies? Like if I wanted to have a Marley Bird yarn that wasn't Chic Sheep, but like I just like a different brand, could
Yeah,
I come to you and say, "Hey, I would like to have my own yarn line. Would you help me put something like that together?"
absolutely. We do that all the time. Actually, a majority of our business is custom spinning. Right now, we're making some yarn for Julie Asselin. That's running in the background. Hopefully, it's not too noisy. But for us, how many lines do we have? We've got 5, 6, I think 10 or 11 lines, and we're creating something new as we speak as well. So we have our 11 different lines within our brand. And yeah, we make for so many different people, small farms, people who just have 30 to 50 sheep and they just want to have a little farm stand and sell their sheep, to, people like Julie, that we spin for.
That is so cool. I
Yeah.
love that. Do you have any of the yarns there that you can show us?
Yes, I brought lots of different ones. This we created about a year ago is our ragtime, so it's a gradient. And
That's beautiful.
I just brought one of the colors, but we've got in all of our lines there's at least 10 or 12 colors. So we've got a lot of yarn in a little tiny space. So this one happens to be a gradient with a natural, but this line is pretty expansive. We've got things that are color on color. We've got a blue version of this one and a red version of this one. But yeah, we've got that one, the ragtime, which is the
That's
newest.
beautiful.
And of course, everybody's favorite right now, Mountain Mohair. This has like been around forever, and it's probably one that will never go away. Other yarns we have created and stopped creating them. And this one's really great. I'm actually starting a sweater with this fairly shortly.
I love that.
So we've got that. It's music is just 100% wool. So this is our fine wool. And if people notice the color, those who've been here know that we don't dye anything here because we don't have the space. So we create all of our colors from pre-dyed wool. So we get in colors of wool that's all washed and dyed, and we blend all these together to make all the colors that you see in the shop.
That is so cool and unique. And that's something that people
Yeah,
probably don't think about. Like I know, like when I go to brown sheep mill,
yeah,
love it. It's so great. And it's a completely different style mill than yours is. And they do dye there in-house. And it's just, it's so interesting to see how you do it versus how they do it. And it's just,
yeah,
that's just the way yarns are. And so I think that's unique, because I don't think a lot of people think through that. They think, oh, how do you get all these great colors in here when you're dyeing it? It's like, well, the yarn's dyed or the wool is dyed before we spin it and
yeah,
do that. I think that's
yeah.
neat.
So our weekend wool, which is really popular at the moment. I don't know if I can hold this up close enough for anybody to see, but there's lots of little flecks of colors in it,
I
and
love that yarn.
this is just from the blending process here. So yeah, it just makes it a great yarn to work with. And we have a wool alpaca blend. We have a woolen tencel blend. Tencel is a wood fiber. It's actually a bark from a tree that's been processed into fiber similar to rayon.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite yarn?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask this one. I think this is the equivalent of somebody picking their favorite child.
Right?
I think it's depending on what I'm making. Like what I have on now is with Sylvan Spirit, which is great for this time of year because it's not as warm as 100% wool. Because it's got the tencel in it. And I'm going to start something with Mountain Mohair in a little bit. I mean, I think it just depends on what I'm making, what yarn suits the project the best.
Mountain Mohair and
Yeah.
Weekender.
Weekend
Those
wool.
are, yeah, those are my favorites.
Yeah,
Those are
they're
like
great to work with.
favorite. I love them. They're so great. So tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about you. When did you come into working with the mill, and what is your role with them?
Okay, so I started here about 6 years ago. It's actually been a little bit over 6 years. And I came here because I needed a different job at the time. I was working for myself and I needed a change from what I was doing. And a friend said, hey, we need someone to run the spinning frame. So I just said, sure, I'll just come in and try it out. And here I am over 6 years later, and I'm one of the owners. Yeah, so we're multiple hats. I was originally the spinner. Now I do that about part-time. I work in the shop, the storefront. So when people come in, I help them with their yarns, but I also do some of the administrative work as well for running the spinnery.
Were you a knitter beforehand or a crocheter?
Knitter. I can't crochet, which I hate to admit to you.
That's okay.
I can do very, very basic. And I do a lot of sewing. That was actually my first love, I guess, into fiber was sewing. But just my life changed and I was traveling for work at the time. So I decided to pick spinning back up. And now this has actually allowed me to get back into all of that, like knitting all the time and sewing all the time.
That's so great. What about designing? How do you, because I know that the Spinnery works with a lot of, wonderful designers.
Yeah.
You guys have offered me yarn support before
Yeah.
and done wonderful things. How do you work with designers? And then I know you guys also put out these wonderful books that are just traditional and inspired and just beautiful pieces. How do you guys work with designers on that?
Well, we usually just offer yarn support. In the past, when we've had a new line come out, we'll actually just put a call out to say who wants to design with the yarns. But we also have an in-house design team, which consists of myself and Maureen and Kate. And Cap C's, she's down in Connecticut. She comes up and does some work with us. And Melissa,
I love all of you guys.
Yeah,
you guys are all my favorites.
Thank you. And then Melissa, who is in the area, she helps with a lot of our color designing, but she also does some pattern designing as well. So we do have a team in-house that decides, hey, what yarn are we going to make next? So yeah, we're constantly trying to design stuff just to fitting what's popular, what people want. We have a lot of long-term customers that love more of the classic traditional, but we also have customers who want something new and fun.
Right. So tell me a little bit about the books, because I think that's something that you guys have been doing for a long time. And I know that there are other yarn companies who started putting out books where it's a book full of just their yarn, their designs and stuff. But you guys have been doing it like for as long as I can remember. And they're beautiful, beautiful books.
Yeah, I wasn't around for the first two. The first one, the Green Mountain Spinnery Knitting book, is a classic. People still come in to buy it. It's got your standards and just classic designs that are never going to go out of style. And that was a lot of work from the stories I've been told, putting our story in there, getting the patterns and putting the whole book together. The second one was 99 yards and counting, because at the time we just had 99 yarns, and definitely have a lot more than that now. And again, I wasn't around for that publication, but same thing, a lot of work getting the designs, putting the book together. But the recent one at the Spinnery, which I brought over today, this actually was published by One More Row Press, which is Kathleen Dames and Backyard Fiberworks, Alice O'Reilly. They're the two that actually put this together, and we kind of collaborate with them and say, hey, we want a book that's a newer book that's just our yarns. And it's a great book. It has pictures of the mill, a few stories, and there's 12 designs in it. So that was our newest one. So it wasn't as much work on our end. It was more work on One More Row Press. Yeah.
Could you show us a couple of the pieces in there?
Yeah, so I'm actually wearing the Saffron Vest, which was my design from the book.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's just a simple vest with the Sylvan Spirit with a little bit of eyelet detail on the front.
Love that. It's so simple, but so like I would absolutely wear that. Like I wear long sleeve dresses all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I would put that like over top of it. I would so wear that.
So I'll try and hold the pictures up as best I can, but this is a This is the button bush pullover. And I don't know if it's in there. It's like, it has like some brioche on the neck and the cuff.
Beautiful.
There's 2 shawls in here. This is Maureen's design, this lace sweater that, just like you said, it's great to wear over a dress. This model has it over
Oh my gosh, I would so wear that.
Yes. And even the cover photo, I mean, that's just like a great classic.
Yeah.
Throw that over jeans or some leggings and you're super comfy.
Did Kate design that? That looks like a Kate design.
No, this is Jennifer Dessau.
Oh, I don't know her.
Kate did the millstone blanket, which is hard to tell from this picture, but it's a circular blanket that actually looks like a millstone. She actually got the inspiration from a millstone. So yeah, we've got lots. Yeah, so there's, and then just simple hats and scarves and towels in here. The back page is probably very hard to see this, but that's all there's 12 designs in there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So we're really excited to work with them on this. It was a great collaboration, and we're so happy that they, used us for that.
I love the color palette of everything you do. So I often tell people, like, there are times I'll walk in a booth and I feel like my mouth salivates. It's because of all the color. And when I go into your booth, it's not that my mouth salivates, but I feel soothed. I feel comfortable, and I feel like I'm at home. Does that make any sense? Like, I walk in, first off, my friends are always in your booth, and so that always feels good. But it's the color palette, it's the tone, it's the yarn, it's the woolen texture of the yarn, it's the rustic nature of the yarn, that it just makes me feel very soothed and warm and all those good things. The color palette you guys do works really well. And then to put the colors that you have with all those beautiful designs, that's a perfect combination.
Yeah. And also, I just want to credit to Gail Zucker did the photography for this. I know she does a lot of the knitting stuff. So she was the photographer for this. And I apologize, I can't remember the names of the 2 models in here, but they were just wonderful to work with as well.
That's cool. Gail Zucker is a wonderful.
Yeah, she is wonderful.
That's so great.
Speaking of the colors that go together, usually when we create a line, we try and kind of keep a theme together. And try and make sure the whole palette works together.
Okay.
So really, in that sense, they are custom blended. You literally can almost describe any of them and they're all going to work together because there's going to be little hints of all the colors in each skein.
That's great. I love that. I love that. Have I missed anything yet? I don't think so. Trying to make sure I got everything in there because I know we were running short on time because of the delay.
Technology.
I know, right?
And we're very low tech here. So
oh my gosh.
Understand.
But it's so wonderful. Did you ever think 6 years ago when you started working there that this would be, a job that you would stick at for so long?
No, I didn't. I had no idea what I really was getting into. It was just like, oh, I like yarn and I like to knit and this will be fun. And it had its challenges learning how to run the spinning frame. For those who, like I said, have been here, it's none of the machinery is new. It's a lot of maintenance and upkeep for them. But yeah, it's so much fun. And then also too, it being a work-owned cooperative, it's nice to work somewhere we actually have a say in how the day-to-day workday is going to go.
That's so great. I love it.
I've worked in jobs where you didn't have that. It was not that flexible. So there is a lot of positive for that.
Well, it's like a family over there. And I think
it is
important.
And someone came in earlier today funny that you mentioned, like, oh, is this a family business? And it's like, well, it's technically not, but we've basically become family because we work
your chosen family.
Yeah,
it's your chosen family. That's
sorry, the train's coming through. We're by the train tracks.
So this would be a good time to talk about what you have to give away to the audience today. And you're gonna have to forgive me because I have completely forgotten. Do you have 1 or 2? So
we're gonna do at the Spinnery. So a copy of the book.
Okay.
So that is the prize for today. And for both prizes.
Okay. Yeah. So those of you who've never watched the show before, welcome. Glad you're here. We always give away a prize to a person who is listening live to the podcast and to somebody who leaves a comment on the show notes after the podcast. For those of you who want to possibly win something live here on the show and you're watching live right now, I want you to write Spinnery, Spinnery, in the chat room. Just write Spinnery and we will randomly select a winner over there and you will get that fantastic book. Those of you who are not watching live, or even if you are watching live and you don't end up winning, all you need to do is go to the show notes, and I will make sure that the link to the show notes is in the video description box of this video, and click on that. That will take you to my website, and it will have a brief description about the Spinnery, links on where you can find them on social media, media and to their website, all right there in one post. So you don't have to go searching for it. At the bottom of that post, you'll see where you can leave a reply or leave a comment. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to leave a reply or a comment with a keyword that Larissa's going to give us here in just a second. And that will be your entry ticket for a chance to win your very own copy of a book. So, Larissa, what word should they use when they leave their comment on the show notes?
Something I completely forgot to think about. Let's just say wool. We'll make it easy.
Wool. Very
wool.
cool.
Yeah, very easy. Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Surrounded by
it. So make sure you do use the keyword wool in your comment on the show notes. Now I'm going to say this once again, everybody. You have to leave your comment on the show notes for a chance to win a prize. We go to the actual show notes to randomly select a winner from those comments. It's too hard to select a winner from the show notes or on YouTube or on Facebook or all the various places. So we like to keep those all in one place. So please leave a comment. Oh, it's Bob! I love you so much. Oh my God, that's Maureen, everybody. I love her. Oh, congratulations. Oh, thank you. So, and I just lost my train of thought. I'm all red. Can you see that? I just love her. So yeah, you have to leave your comment in the show notes, which is on the Marley Bird website. We do love your comments here on YouTube. I really do. Please smash that like button. Don't forget to do that. Leave your comments here of, hey, I enjoyed the show. But for a chance to win, you have to leave your comment on the show notes. All right. But for those of you who have stuck around and watched live, I am going to scroll up to where they were posting Spinnery, where it started. Okay. And now I'm going to scroll back down. And now I'm just going back and forth, and you tell me when to stop. That will be the lucky winner.
Stop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it me saying that?
Yes, that was you. You were good.
Okay, yeah.
Helen Henry. Helen Henry is the lucky winner. So I am going to put on here, Helen Henry. Congrats. Yay. She is a lucky winner, and I'm going to have her email us, winner@yarnthingpodcast.com. And she needs to include her mailing address and phone number.
Yes.
Mailing address and phone number, please. Don't forget to let me know what you won, because I will forget. Okay. Because I am so scatterbrained. But congratulations, Helen Henry.
Yay, Helen.
Yeah, she is a long time, I'm going to say listener, fan. She's fantastic. So congratulations to Helen Henry. That's fantastic. Love the book. Love your yarn. Love all of you guys. I think you're just amazing. I love that you are still this, I'm going to say family-owned company, this, chosen family-owned company, small company, small mill, fighting it and doing what you need to do to compete in the yarn industry as it is today, where, I'm owned by Red Heart. You know what I mean? Like, there are big box companies who are out there fighting for the dollars, and you're doing such a great job in still putting out the quality and the content and the designs, and just everything that you guys do just encompasses the American spirit. Like, it's just fantastic. I love what you do.
Thank you so much. And we appreciate you and all of your viewers and all of the people who come in and support us and come into the shop when they're on vacation and order from us and come see us all the sheep and wool festivals. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everyone coming in and doing that. And then the designers who work with our yarn and support our yarn helps. It's amazing what a great family that the yarn industry is. And
it really is.
We love everybody that is supporting each other.
So speaking of yarn festivals and such, is there one that you're going to be attending soon so people could find you if they are in the area?
So we will be at Vermont Sheep and Wool, which is in Tunbridge, and that is October 5th and 6th, I believe. It's that first weekend in October. And then, of course, we will be at New York Sheep and Wool, Rhinebeck, on the 19th, 20th, 21st for some of those dates. And we will be at SAF, the Southern Adirondack Fiber Festival. It's in Asheville, North Carolina. And that is the following weekend. So the 26th, 27th, something like that.
Fantastic.
Those are the next three. We just got back from Wisconsin a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Maureen and Kate usually go to those shows, but I usually go to Rhinebeck as well because it's such a big show.
Yeah.
And I go to attend a lot of them just to go.
That's so great. Well,
Yeah.
I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck and many
Yeah.
sales. And
Thank
I
you.
love what you do. I want everybody to go check out Green Mountain
Yeah.
Spinnery. They can order on the website. They can find
Yes.
you at these shows and
Yeah.
support small
Yeah.
business guys. They are
Yeah.
absolutely
And you can
fantastic.
come see us at our mill in Putney, Vermont, if you'd like to. We're
It's
always welcome.
beautiful. It's
Yeah,
so
come
great.
see us. If we're stuff's running, you can see actually stuff being made in the process. It's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, Larissa, thank you
Yeah.
so much for hanging out with me while I had
Yeah, it was
some
wonderful.
troubles, but we made it happen. We made
We
it work.
made it. Yay.
Thank you so much, my
You're
friends.
welcome. Thank you.
All right, everybody
Bye.
else, please make sure you have hit subscribe and smashed that like button here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. And I will see you again soon. Bye.